Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In my last YouTube video, I talked about the things to expect on this channel. It was basically like an introductory video, so if you have not watched it yet, this is your sign to do so. And thank you so much for the comments, for the love and everything on my first video. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about my career transition story. I know a couple of people have heard this story before from my Instagram, but this is like a complete version. And I am not just making this video to talk about my career transition story, but to also inspire and guide others out there who are probably looking for how to navigate or transition from one career to another. As a teenager, I liked to press my phone a lot. I liked to press my phone up to the point where my father would seize my phone. But the interesting part about this is that while I used to press my phone, I wasn't the type that I don't press my phone for fun. I did not used to press my phone for fun. I would research, I would just be looking for things on the internet. I hardly asked questions because I know that I could easily use the internet to look for the answers to whatever questions I had. And in fact, when I was going to the university, my daddy seized my phone because in his words, I was not going to study well and all of that. It was a really bad situation for me because I was like, really? And then he gave me a touchlight phone and said, use this one for the next 1 year. When you pass, you then get your phone back. And that was what happened. So I passed, gave him my phone back. I went to Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. I don't even want to go into all of those stories because I spent almost 8 years in school plus my pre-degree year. And that was a lot. And this is where the story started from. You know how when we are teenagers, when you're still in secondary school, and our parents are trying to make career decisions for us. So my father has always wanted me to be a medical doctor because they think I am very brilliant to be a doctor. You know how our parents can feel like, oh, because you are brilliant, then this is what you should be doing, and not even let you make the decisions for yourself. But that's fine. I applied for pre-degree. I passed my pre-degree, and when it was time to give admission, they said that medicine was not available as a course during my set, and so I was given biochemistry. They said, it's similar to medicine and all of those things and all of those lies that they tell us, right? So that was how my daddy now said, oh, that's fine. When you finish biochemistry, then you can still go for your medicine. I'm like, okay. And I started in 100 level, 200 level. Then in second semester of 200 level was where I started to see a lot. I started going through a lot. I think I had a 1 point GPA in that semester. I had a lot of carryovers, and the rest that were not carryovers were nothing to write home about. And that was when I started to question my choices. Like, is this really what I want to do? I was no longer interested. I wasn't even motivated. From my 200 level second semester, it just kept happening like that I will not go to classes regularly. I will not go for tests. It just shows that I was not interested. Like, I was done from 200 level second semester. So it was a lot. I just said, God, please, let me just finish. Let me just finish this course. I don't have any carryover. I don't have any extra year rather. And we went on strike. So my school was a school of strikes. I don't know if they have changed now, but it was a school of strikes. There was always something happening. If it was not the general ASU strike, it was going to be an internal strike. So my school went on strike one time, and I was home for quite a long time. And of course, as the girl that likes to press my phone, I just started scrolling on Facebook one day, and then I saw somebody that advertised a product and said that she was looking for distributors. It was a hair cream, and I sent her a message and said that, okay, I want to be a distributor. So I went to her house, I bought 1 carton of the product. I remember my parents asking me how I intended to sell the products, and I'm like, don't worry, I'll get my customers online. And they were like, oh, okay. Before you know it, I created a Facebook page for the product. I created an Instagram page. I started posting about it. And I had little knowledge. Did I say little? I had no knowledge of marketing. It got to a point where people even started thinking that was the official social media account for the company because of how much I just kept posting and promoting it. And before you know it, I started to sell out. The products were getting sold out really fast. I was using myself as the testimonial, as the review, and all of that. Like, I wasn't waiting. I just kept posting and promoting, writing the captions, doing all of that. And before you know it, my supplier, the woman I talked about in the first place, she could no longer meet up to my demands, and I started going to the company directly to buy the products. That was the point that I knew that I wanted to do something like this. I wanted to be able to help people grow their business online. That phase went, I made all the money. I was still in school. I didn't have financial knowledge, so I spent the money as I was making it. Good times, man. When I got back to school, I started to think of how I could transition into doing something like that. Of course, the world marketing or social media marketing was not even as popular then. So I'm like, what can I really do? I know that I'm done with biochemistry. Like, I had zero interest. Even when I went for internship in my 400 level, I went for IT. You know, my colleagues will be going to the lab. I would show no interest. I'll just tell them I'm not going. Like, I didn't want to do any practical. I didn't want to do anything. I remember that I spoke to someone and said, how can I get into this industry? I've seen that this is the thing that I like, and I think this is how I can help people with it. And he said that I should take a course, and he recommended the Google Digital Skills for Africa course. I think that was what it was called then. I don't know if it's still the same now. And I started taking the course, but I never finished it that time because I didn't even have money to buy data. I didn't even have money to buy data to complete the course. Like, it was a whole lot. I just started, I would do it one day on, one day off, and that kind of thing. So he just told me that if I could finish the course, I could probably now apply for internship in some organizations. That was what I was doing in my 500 level. And of course, I could not even follow through with it like that because I was also writing my projects and all of that. It was time for NYSC. I was posted to Yobe State for my 3 weeks orientation camp. From there, I was to redeploy to Lagos, but it didn't work out. My redeployment was to Abuja. I remember that I started to say, oh, this is the career path I want to go into, and I know I'll get more opportunities in Lagos. People were like, who told you that you can't find this opportunity in Abuja? There was a lot of encouragement from people, and I carried my bags and I went to Abuja for my NYSC, for my service year. So I started to apply for internship roles in digital marketing firms, in marketing agencies, but it wasn't forthcoming at some point. So I just decided that let me just apply for something, because people were already saying that I was spending too much time and I needed to get a place for my PPA and all of that. So I just settled and said, okay, let me just apply for a customer service role there. And I did. I went for the interview, we got to the place. The next thing, they asked for my social media handles. As someone who liked social media and likes to press her phone, I was always posting on Instagram, like right from time. So if you go to my Instagram page, it was perfectly arranged. I post my pictures, I write things that come to my mind and the likes. So they saw that, and of course that was like potential for them, that okay, if she can do this for our page, then she can help us with our page too. And that was how my customer service role turned to social media intern role. I also believe that God was in the story, to be honest, because everything just started to align for me from that point in time. Imagine how I got posted to Abuja instead of Lagos. It was God's way of saying, this is where I want it to be. This is where you will get what you are looking for. I didn't just see it as something that happened by luck. I believe very strongly that God was involved with me on it as well. I got a role as a social media intern. They told me my pay, it was quite low, but I didn't bother. I knew that this was like a learning phase for me. I wanted to go newly into a career, so I needed all the experience that I could get, and that was how I started. And it was a digital marketing agency, so you can imagine how much of experience I would have gotten, because we were working with like a couple of brands, and I was the one in charge of the social media pages of these brands. I grew a lot. I started taking more courses to expand my knowledge, and that was really it. That was really like the transition to be honest. So before I go to the concluding part, one thing I would like to tell anybody that is trying to transition from a career to another is to always seek God at every point in time of that career transition. He knows what's best for us. He understands where we are. He understands where he wants us to be. I finished my 1 year of NYSC, and before I even finished the NYSC, I started to get recommended to people to help them with their social media and the likes, and that was how I never had to work a 9 to 5 again. Since that time, I started working with people on a remote basis. I freelanced, and there was also the point where I was willing to work for free, right? So I reached out to my friends. I asked them if I could handle their social media for free, and that was really how it went. I started to manage their pages for free, and the likes and the likes and the likes, right? So this is the point where I also say, if you are trying to transition from one career to another, the place of learning cannot be overemphasized. Always learn and apply. Learn and apply. It's not like you are gathering all the courses, you are gathering all the skills. How do you intend to use them? For every learning process, there has to be an application process to, like, if I'm learning this thing, how do I intend to apply it? Do I want to apply for internship roles? Do I want to work with somebody for free? Do I want to reach out to organizations? Do I want to volunteer? Yes, I also volunteered. I volunteered for a TEDx event in Abuja. I was the social media manager for that event. So these are the things that you can also do if you are trying to transition or pivot into one career path from the other. These are like the things that you'll be needing for when you are transitioning. And that was really how everything started to grow bigger. My work was good. I was getting results. I was delivering exceptional results for clients and all of that. So it got to a point I started to take up more skills. So I was not only knowledgeable about social media marketing, I started to know about email marketing, influencer marketing, and all of those things, all other aspects of marketing. I started to also offer those services to people. I was doing email marketing, I was doing influencer marketing. Before you know it, I started to build campaigns for brands and the likes. And it got to a point where it was really big. I mean, I could no longer take on more people. Like, I was occupied. So I needed to expand and grow. So one of the things that God told me was to start an agency so that I could replicate myself into other people and then grow exponentially. I did that, and I founded Awani Digitals in March 2023. So we'll be 2 in March, and it's been an amazing one so far. God has been in this story. God has been in this journey. I don't even know how to end this video. Is this where I say bye-bye? But I really hope that you found this video helpful. To round it all up, let me just summarize. So if you are trying to transition from one career to another, research, like do a lot of research about the field you are trying to transition into, and be sure that it is something that you really want to do. Be sure that it is God that is telling you to move into that field. Don't transition because that industry looks promising or because other people are going to that industry. Transition because it is what you want to do. It is what God has called you to do. And after you do that, start your learning journey. And after you start your learning journey, always make sure that you have a system in place where you intend to apply those skills that you've gathered. If you remember, I said I did not just stop at being a social media manager. I started to do other things. I started to learn more about other aspects of marketing, right? So this is what you should also do, because of course, there's nobody that wants to be stagnant in their career, right? So yeah, I'm rooting for you and I wish you all the best. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. There will be more videos like this. So subscribe now and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.